ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So we would like to continue on Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, the touchstone of pure devotional service. Because if we follow this guidance in improvising our sadhana, become introspective, and that will be benefiting us to enter into the higher taste of devotional service. But this higher taste is pure taste, Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, the pure state and performance of pure devotional service. Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasitati. This Shuddha Bhakti is causeless and it is uninterrupted. Right now in our sadhana bhakti, we got so much interruption, like me, one. I have been interrupted by too much engagement, traveling, and so forth. But still, whenever we get the opportunity, we'll try to, progress, so it will become our eternal function. And that what it's counting, that what are we going to take as an asset while we go out from this material world and enter into the spiritual world. The spiritual world is wide open, 3 times bigger than this material world. This is Ekapada Vibhuti, but spiritual world is called Tripada Vibhuti. And we have to qualify to enter into that Tripada Vibhuti. Means at least 3 times more serious than what we have simply given the promises. Anyway, we are entering into chapter number 4. We have entered already up to about few pages, but I would like to, at least repeat for myself, and I hope you wouldn't mind. So, यही सब साधनेर अति तुच्छ बल कृष्ण भक्ति विना ताहा दीते नारे फल. Without devotional service, all other methods for spiritual self-realization are weak and insignificant. Unless one comes to the devotional service of Lord Krishna, Jnana and Yoga cannot give the desired result. This is in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter, 18th verse is there. So this chapter is called Semblance of Devotion. Semblance means, it's almost like devotion, something like that. Part 1 we have started. So I would like to repeat by reading, then we will do a little introspection. Chapter 2 examined the seeds of semblance of faith, and chapter 3 the creepers of mixed devotion produced from these seeds. This chapter begins with the study of the shadowy division, chaya, of the semblance of faith, and goes on to show how properly cultivated shadowy faith leads to a semblance of devotion on to the pure devotional service. What is said that we sow the seeds of devotion, but some seeds are not fructifying. Rather, every seed which is not fertilized properly, how can they fructify? But they are there. So in the faith, semblance of faith, such seeds would give as semblance of devotional creeper. The example, when you sow the tulsi seeds, every seed is not fructified. Only those who are properly pollinated, the seeds can grow into a tulsi plant. So similarly, the faith brings in many kind of semblances that seems to be devotional service, but they are called chaya bhas. It's a shadowy thing. When we were coming in United States, we didn't have any iota, where tulsi is also available here, and we used to bring seeds from India and try to grow, and they were growing. They were growing, but everyone was not growing. So it became customary in the temples that we supplied tulsi plants to ready-made a little growth, maybe about 4 inches growth was good enough to be transported, carried, and rather than whole big tulsi pot. So naturally, we can understand that our faith, when it is not completely purified, or what we call nishtha means convicted faith, conviction that this is the real tulsi plant. This is the real tulsi plant. This shadowy faith also leads to semblance of devotion and on to the pure devotional service. Means semblance is okay, but when we try to cultivate and make further refined and pick it out, sometimes the weeds or unearthers that we have also discussed this, that the unearthers are also growing side by side, because these were not fructified seeds, there was something else. And they will also take away the sap that we are putting of our sadhana and regulated principles. It will hamper the growth of our devotional service. So we have to weed out such we have to weed out this creepers which are growing side by side. So the chapter only touched on the reflection division, that is Pratibhimbhavas, which is flowed by Mayavad philosophy and which is of no use to the devotees of serious about perfection. The main strength given by the shadow of pure faith are that it facilitates regular and submissive contact with pure Vaishnavas and that it invokes the potency of the pure of devotional service and the Lord's mercy. So when Kapil Adev was telling to Mother Devahuti, Satam prasanga mama birya samvida bhavanti rad karna rasayana katha. In every katha, you do not get the strength of the pure devotional service. But at the same time, people are inclined to go, but it wouldn't help them to grow because there is no potency. And it creates nothing but either pratibhimbabhas or chaya abhas, like that. So katha soni soni phutya kanto nayu brahmagyan, like that. That is devotional fervor, but it is not exactly devotion. And the person do not get much benefit in growth of their seriousness in devotional service. So there are three things you have to understand, especially the company of pure Vaishnavas gradually qualify aspirants for pure devotional service. The main strength we will be receiving from the association of the devotees. And when we are talking of that the association of Brijvasis, they were much more specified, So, and Rupa Goswami is the real Brijvasi, so we have to follow him. So Pratibimb Abbas flowed by Mayavad philosophy, and but the association with pure Vaishnavas. So these three things, especially the company of pure Vaishnavas, gradually qualify aspirant for pure devotional service. Otherwise, even Mayavad will give Pratibimb Abbas, and people are dragged into it. Only just day before yesterday, one of my disciples from Chandigarh brought one of the Mayavad philosopher to see me in Vrindavan. And he said, Maharaj, I'm doing Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. Then I have to reiterate what is Premananda Baba. And then he couldn't answer me a bit. He was awe-stricken. But now, since I have exposed to him, let my disciple in Chandigarh cultivate him on that strength, So anyway, each person's path from the semblance of faith to the semblance of devotion and on the pure devotional service is unique. In fact, all living entities are influenced by their karmic past, consisting of unwanted attachments and unique blend of material modes. Nevertheless, revealed scriptures and the Vaishnava authorities describe general categories of the soul who turn to Krishna. The varieties and stages of practice such souls pass through in the transition from the semblance of devotion, that is Bhakti Abhas, to pure devotion, that is Shuddha Bhakti, is the subject matter of this chapter. So we will be entering into Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani. There are four impure motives for devotion. Srila Prabhupada often said that fools remain undiscovered as long as they do not speak. Similarly, mixed devotees pass for the true Vaishnavas only until they expose their ulterior motives. Prabhupada is saying that the fool is celebrated as one of the regular person, but as soon as he speaks, he reveals his reality. So similarly, mixed devotees pass for true Vaishnavas only until they expose their ulterior motives. Great souls, learned in science of devotion, easily distinguished crow-like neophytes from swan-like Vaishnavas. Krishna himself classifies the four pious but materially motivated persons who approach him with the semblance of faith. That Chaturvida bhajante mam janaha sukritino arjun arto jigyasur artharthi gyani cha bharta sarva. O best of the Bharatas, four kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, and the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Tesham jnani nityayukta ek bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnani no artyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. Of this, one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best, for I am very dear to him and he is very dear to me. This is in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 16th and 17th verses. I also spoke about that I had an occasion to talk in Austin, Texas, I think several years back, when we didn't have our organization intact. But anyway, it's important that one person came and said, look at that, this is glorifying the Gyanis, and he was glorifying. So impersonalist Gyanis are also coming in this. And they also, we also worship. What kind of worship? They do not surrender to Krishna and worship. There is a semblance only, that as if they are worshipping Krishna, but no. They will always say impersonal aspect is the best, not the personality. Therefore, Krishna has appeared in the form of a human being, and everybody doubts about him. So nobody accepts him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he's describing himself in Bhagavad Gita. They say he's one of the men, but avajananti mama muda manushim tanumasritam param bhavam ajananta mama bhuta maheshwaram. But these impersonalists claim themselves as, they know Bhagavad Gita, but they do not want to do the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. I also spoke about that Srila Prabhupada was confronting the Mayavadi students of Swami Chinmayananda, when he was brought to them and introduced that they are also like the devotees. No, not like the devotees. They do not know the conclusion. Those who do not know the conclusion or do not want to follow Krishna verbatim, they are not devotees. They may put up a kind of semblance, but we have to be very careful, because our path is very, very sharp, and sharpness is a wrong foot can cut off your foot. So we have to walk very carefully. Kshurasya dhara. Kshurasya dhara means the age of the sword. That has to be understood, that we are walking on the age of the sword. We are not walking on the blunt side of the sword, which will not cut. But here, because the path of pure devotion is very narrow, prema gali ati sakari, ati sakari, very, very sharp. Only you and Krishna are going to be situated. Nothing, no third motivation can even ever enter into. Following description of this four general classification of shadowy faith based on Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's and Baldev Vidyabhushan's comments on these two verses from Bhagavad Gita, that is given in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, first canto, second chapter, 20th and 21st verses. So What do they say? The distress means the artha are selfish workers whose prime goal is in the life is to enjoy the fruits of their work. In their endeavors to fulfill their desires, they become frustrated by poverty or illness. And for example, that is the way, but sobered by sorrow, they turn to Krishna for relief because they are sorrowful. And Krishna is always smiling. Let me go to Krishna. I will get some smile too. So this is the a kind of shadow of their faith. The inquisitive means Jikyasu are pious but ignorant of the absolute truth. When their piety matures, the working of the material world awakens in them the need to understand the reality of things. Dissatisfied by the teachings of secular scriptures and led by curiosity, they turn to Krishna for clear understanding of God. So they might become studious. Anyway, they may purchase Bhagavad Gita and read for self and associate with pure devotee of Srila Prabhupada. Then they will gain something. All right. Those who are desire of material gain, artharthi, want to enjoy this world's pleasure, wealth, fame, sex, and heaven, to achieve, enhance, and preserve a heavenly standard of living, they undertake the ritualistic worship of Krishna as he who fulfills all desires. But Krishna can fulfill all his desires by telling you that you want my kripa. Okay. Yasyaham anugrahanami harishye taddanam sanai. If I really, put my mercy on you, I will steal everything away from you. So that is the ultimate faith that we have to keep on Krishna. He is going to take away. He's Hari. He is the real thief. Not only butter thief, but he will take away whatever you may be claiming as yours. There is nobody as yours other than Lord Shri Krishna himself. So this is the test that Krishna will impose on everyone. Don't think that you are dependent on something else, then and then you can do your devotional service. No. Just Mam ekam sharanam vraja, ekam. There is no another entity. Okay. So the seekers of truth, Jnani, renounce worldly pleasures to realize the impersonal Brahman. These are not Mayavadis, but Brahmavadis. Mayavadis cannot enter into Mayaya Pratyajnana. Their real knowledge has been stolen. So they may have a lot of bookish knowledge, but they have no iota how to surrender and make it practical knowledge. All right. So Brahmavadis are they are strictly both of them, strictly practice celibacy and other forms of asceticism. They begin to acquire knowledge of the Supreme, and when inspired by wisdom, they turn to Krishna and serve him to acquire pure transcendental knowledge. So they may be, coming, but without the example of pure devotee, they will never be inclined to perform devotional service. They are inquisitive of knowledge, but knowledge gives you what? Two results. One is the attachment to the knowledge itself. And second thing is pleasure, or they have attained the subtle pleasures by profit, adoration, and distinctions. So, two results: they feel happy, and the happiness can be sustained by the three factors, what we said, that profit, adoration, and distinction. So they are bound up by a mode of goodness. The knowledge is acquired, but it also brings in some profit, adoration, distinction. Many of ISKCON disciples have turned into Kathavachak because profit, adoration, and distinction. So the faith is of semblance. Now, what it means, if the shoes fit, wear it. If somebody is completely aloof from profit, adoration, and distinction, they would not advertise them. So the idea is that they can turn into pure devotion at a stage, but that is the Jnani is the best, those who ultimately renounce everything and keep on continuing the devotional service out of conviction through the katha, through the topics which are aspired by a similar kind of faith. They can instill that kind of faith only. But what the pure faith, that is what going to be talked in this particular chapter, would be based on surrender to Guru. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Koriyo Aikya. Arana Koriho Mane Asha. And by performance of this, then Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Chakshudana Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu say. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. So they will be benefited by, obtaining the divinity in seeing the absolute truth, divinity in even their potency of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Divinity in the form of worshipable Lord, divinity to be utilized to understand the and the divine characters to be explained and interacted with fellow like-minded devotees, and then they can enter into the Leela, which is divine. So Chakshudana Dilo Jai Janme Janme Prabhu Se Divya Gyan Vriday Prakashito. That Divya Gyan is also called as Divya Chakshu. Divya Chakshu, they are sitting in the heart. Hriday Prakashita. So you will be, that pure devotee will always see through the Lord, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santah Sadaiva Radeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shyama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That is the way, how to reach. So there are Maya Pratagyana, they are totally discarded. And they cannot enter into bhakti. They cannot compare. Even if they come to, talk with you or challenging what kind of jnani. Krishna is said, Uttamam, the best. Here it is a clarification through the works of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Bhakti Vidya, Baladev Vidyabhushan. So these are their comments. So by strictly practicing celibacy and other forms of asceticism, they begin to acquire knowledge of the Supreme, and then, inspired by wisdom, they turn to Krishna and serve him to acquire pure transcendental knowledge. It is important to note that the above four classes of Krishna, Krishna particularly extols the Jnani because they serve the knowledge of him. They serve in knowledge of him. Srimad Bhagavatam gives example of these four kinds of pious men. Gajendra represents the distress, and in the Naimisharanya sages, the inquisitive, Dhruv Maharaj, who desired wealth, and four Kumaras, the seekers of truth. These are the four examples. Please remember that Gajendra represents the distress. Artha. Naimisharanya sages are inquisitive, Jigyasu. Dhruv Maharaj, who desired wealth, they are Artharthi, and four Kumaras, the seekers of truth. They are Sanak Sanatan, Sananda, and the fourth. I always lose one. Anyway, they are tapasvi and pious Sukruti. So all these are saying the worshippers of the pious Sukruti. But Krishna acknowledges their piety results in activities that lead to him. In contrast, the verse 7:15 describes the activities that do not lead to Krishna as impious, and the perpetrators, such as the miscreants, Duskrutina, and Srila Jiva Goswami defines the piety as the asset attained by engaging in activities that lead to pure devotion. Jiva Goswami says that activities that are connected to transcendental personalities and that give rise to an intense desire to perform devotional service are called Sukruti. Sukruti means activities that are connected to transcendental personalities and that give rise to an intense desire to perform devotional service. They are called Sukrutis. That is in Bhakti Tattva Vivek, Srila Jiva Goswami, chapter 4, page number 34. The spiritual piety which awakens pure devotion is Bhaktyonmukhi Sukruti. Sukruti and Duskruti. Bhaktyonmukhi Sukruti is our good luck that we have brought from the previous birth, and that made us enter into Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON, where pure devotional service is available. It is distinct from material piety, which bestows either material opulence or ability to merge into impersonal Brahman. That is also spoken in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter, 45th verse, in the purport. Srila Prabhupada's emphasis is on that material piety which bestows either material opulence or the ability to merge into impersonal Brahman. This is not Bhaktyonmukhi Sukruti. Material piety may be a catalyst for the performance of spiritual piety, as explained in the previous chapter, but it is never a cause of devotion. Material piety, most of us have experienced that people of material piety also come to Krishna consciousness. but that is because they have a semblance in their faith. But it will never become a cause of devotion. If you tell them to chant Hare Krishna, they will say, oh no, what am I? I am all right. Okay. That is called not pure devotion. The semblance of faith is there. Therefore, when the Bhagavad Gita mentions 4 kinds of pious persons who turn to Krishna, we should assume that each of them has gathered enough spiritual piety to do so. They are material pieties, but spiritual piety is bhakti-mukhi sukruti, spiritual devotion. Unmukhi means that one brings you to act in pure devotion. It may be an impetus, unknowing. So we must have rendered bhakti unmukhi piety. Therefore, now we have to become serious that we should not simply stay up to the performance of what we call accidental pure devotion. No, accidental pure devotion doesn't come. Pure devotion comes as a mature fruit of our surrender to Krishna. Mature fruit. And Srimad Bhagavatam is that mature fruit which always extol the best of the examples of 12 Mahajanas who are thus authorized to explain us pure devotion. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumar Kapilo Mano Prahlada Janaka Bhishma Bali Vyasaki Vayam. So, in the Vedic society, pious is defined as a tendency to follow scriptural injunctions and to situate oneself properly in Varnashram social order, of which Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary. Such conduct, whether for personal gain or liberation, inevitably brings one into contact with the Lord and teaches one to be submissive to higher authorities, that is, sannyasis and brahmanas and the demigods. And this is the purpose of the Vedic system. So, general Hinduism is based on this because it is coming as a derivative from the Vedic sources. That pious is defined as tendency to follow scriptural injunctions and to situate oneself properly in the Varnashram social order, of which Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary. So they believe everything. They try to follow the rules and regulations of Varnashram Dharma also, but at the same time, that belief does not become conviction. Such conduct, whether for the personal gain or liberation, inevitably brings one into contact with the Lord and teaches one to be submissive to the higher authorities, sannyasis and brahmanas, the demigods. And this is the purpose of the Vedic system. So demigods are inclusive, but they are not exclusively worshipped. And you cannot say that they are equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No. They may give the impetus to bring you closer by following the Brahmanas who teach the Brahman, but it may be towards the impersonal only. But personality of Godhead, there are pious Brahmanas who says the Narayana Parobhyaktat. Narayan or the Lord Vishnu is the supreme. Okay, and therefore they do worship, but they may end up worshipping in Panchopasana. What is Panchopasana? They worship the sun, they worship Lord Shiva, Parvati, Lord. They worship even the Guru, and other demigods, Panchopasana, how would they call them? Panchadeva. Am I correct? Am I missing?
Ganesh and Narayan.
Lakshmi? Narayan? No.
Ganesh,
Lakshmi, Narayan, and then Surya Bhagwan, and
Parvati, Shiva.
maybe anyway Shiva, Lord Shiva, and Parvati. Anyway, Panchopasana. I'm little bit evaporated. My brain is evaporated. Anyway, okay. So materially motivated persons engaged in pious deeds, digging wells, giving in charity, chanting mantras, observing vows, and reading scriptures, also knowingly or unknowingly perform devotional acts that become the source of their spiritual piety. Here, devotional acts means such acts as giving in charity to the Vaishnavas, observing vow of Ekadashi, participating in fire sacrifice dedicated to Vishnu, chanting the Lord's name, or listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. This has been spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam and the purport, 10th canto, 47th chapter, 24th verse, by the disciples of Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, with the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary is there. So you can understand semblance is almost, they're like devotees. But they will be promoted. So they may be having an inclination towards performing vows, but not knowing the purpose of it. They will be also attending fire sacrifices, but they will be also listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. But when it comes for that, please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra on a regulated basis, chant 16 rounds, and follow 4 regulative principles, and they will be hesitating. So their faith is like lukewarm. So these spiritually pious acts are especially performed when the pious people are not discriminating in their practices. For example, they give charity indiscriminately to anyone who begs from them, including the Vaishnavas. These devotional acts constitute real piety, the effects of which is eventually accumulate and mature into pure faith and pure devotion. They should not be discouraged. They deserve for encouragement with pure rendition, because some of them will be also going through an experience. They are not always in so-called very religious moods. No, these are actually obligatory performances which are pious. Yagyadana tapakriya na tyajyamiti. Yagyadana tapakriya pavanani manishinam. Krishna is telling that it is purifying. All right. But if it is they are attending maybe other demigod temples also, but also comes to Krishna. They love Krishna, but by their sentiments, they may devote much. But these are all neophyte state, because they have to be scientifically and systematically ingrained into a progressive aspect. So Bahunam janmanamante jnanavam mam prapadyate. Vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Those who are at least knowledgeable about this, their piety, but they have to come to the conclusive aspects. Okay, so these devotional acts constitute real piety, the effects of which eventually accumulate and mature into pure faith or pure devotion. Conditioned souls may conclude that pious deeds themselves give rise to devotion, but scriptures and liberated souls disagree. They may say, yeah, everything, so I should study the scriptures, and I'm performing all what is required through the instructions of the scriptures. But actually, scriptures do not conclude only on such pious deeds. Because the scriptures also progressively bring you from the material afflictions of your piety to the spiritual credibility. The scriptures gradually reveal the ultimate personality of Godhead. So, in progressive aspect of, say, Vedas, the Upanishads, and all the Upanishads, there is only one Upanishad which we are directly concerned, is Ishopanishad, not others. It doesn't mean the other Upanishads are not, bringing her to the knowledge. But yes, for personal personification or the personalized aspect of pure devotion, impersonal cannot do pure devotion. And there is a lot of understanding about the a lot of misunderstanding about the conclusive aspect. Even Mayavadis are always doubtful, but even those who are trying to get liberated from the material world, such impersonalists also become doubtful that Krishna is the absolute truth personality of Godhead. So absolute truth is spiritual. They may understand something, some part of absolute truth, but it is not perfect. So, scriptures and liberated souls disagree. That pious activities themselves give rise to devotion. No. Material piety and mode of goodness, atmosphere, may bring people into contact with the spiritual life. But because such things are material, they cannot cause full spiritual devotion. Only acts of devotion can cause devotion to rise in the heart of bhaktya sanjayate bhaktya. Only the act of devotional service can initiate devotion. Only act of devotion gives rise to devotion. It is such a pure seed of the faith that we have to say, that it will definitely fructify. Bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya means in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, 3rd chapter, 31st verse. So, for example, a gracious host, famous for his piety, may in time become a Vaishnava. Seeing such transformation, materialistic behaviors may conclude that material piety transformed the fellow into bhakta. But Vaishnavas will not agree. They will point out that the man's piety enabled him to invite Vaishnavas amongst their other guests, into his home. The unwitting devotional service of taking care of these Vaishnavas gave the host spiritual piety, Bhaktyonmukhi Sukruti. You are led by devotees to perform Bhaktyonmukhi piety. Mm. Mm. As his spiritual piety accumulated, it enabled the gentle host to properly hear from the Vaishnavas. When mature, his spiritual piety then inspired him to sow the seed of devotion by embracing the Vaishnavas' instructions. Thus, a host once famous for his hospitality become famous for his devotion. This is the relationship between the two types of piety, the material and spiritual piety. Bhaktyonmukhi Sukruti. So, it is said the spiritual master, either instructive or initiating spiritual master, or even accidentally Mark Pradarshak, spiritual master. Somehow or another, Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. So, Krishna is pleased and has been empowered to a Mark Pradarshak Guru or Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru. Krishna empowers them. So, the seed of pure devotion, which is lying buried in the hearts of everyone. That is the inherentness, and it is the soul's proprietary possession. Proprietary, very, very what do you call proprietary? Means the primary or most essential belonging. Most essential belonging of a jiva is the seed of devotion. And the spiritual master carefully brings out to the surface and expose this pure seed that is, then he will tell, please chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds without fail, and that seed of devotion will start springing out. Otherwise, there are many other seeds, but spiritual master has to pick up that seed only which will be fructifying in the pure devotion service. Bhakti Vraksha, then it can expand itself. So this is the pure understanding Srila Prabhupada brought, and Shivaram Maharaj is very compassionately explaining us to these details. So Vaishnavas have a different opinion that we will have to understand than those who are equating themselves with a pseudo Vaishnava, but the pious gentleman, famous for his piety, and in time he will become a Vaishnava. And such transformation cannot be understood that materialistic neighbors may conclude the material piety transformed into Bhakti. No, we do not agree. Vaishnavas will not agree. They will point out that the man's piety enabled him to invite Vaishnavas amongst his other guests into his home. The unwitting devotional service of taking care of these Vaishnavas gave gave the host spiritual piety, Bhakti Anmukhi Sukruti, and his spiritual piety accumulated. So suppose if general people who are not that much advanced, but they are pious, they are invited along with those who are practitioners, the devotees, that will eventually create the Bhakti Anmukhi Sukruti. To serve a devotee, even though mixed with non-devotees, but pious, foolish piety is. So this distinguishes between the spiritual piety, that is Bhakti Anmukhi piety, from the material piety. As his spiritual piety accumulated, it enabled the gentle host to properly hear from the Vaishnavas. When mature, his spiritual piety then inspired him to sow the seed of devotion by embracing the Vaishnavas' instruction. Can you imagine this writing of Shivaram Maharaj is so much penetrating, so much effective to understand and distinguish from our stereotype thinking. It will bring us naturally to Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani. Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Thus, a host once famous for his hospitality became famous for his devotion. This is the relationship between the two types of piety, material and spiritual. Materially pious come to pure devotion by one of the two ways: by unknowingly performing devotional act, such as chanting the Lord's holy name during the ceremonial observance, or by offering service with a purpose other than to please Krishna, such as for acquiring a good wife. And these are examples of semblance of devotion, bhaktya bhasa. From the point of purity, the first way, agyat sukruti, is free from ulterior motives. Thus, when, though devoid of faith, it is superior than the second way, which involves mixed devotion. For example, scriptures tell of a sinful hunter gored to death by a boar when the hunter cried out, Haram. How horrible. Haram means how horrible. He was at once liberated from the sinful reaction because he indirectly uttered the name of the Lord, Rama. We stopped last time at this particular point. So I was inspired to tell you the story of what Haridas Thakur explained this Varna Vyavadhan in Harinam Chintamani, that inadvertently Varna means the letters. Vyavadhan means obstructions. He explains that a Muslim who ate a rotten meat and ended up in great pain, and he was feeling so much forced to go to relieve himself passing the stool. He was in such an anxiety, so much intense anxiety. But Muslims know that they are forbidden to eat pork. So one pig, he was hungry also, completely opposite in character. And he knew his customer was sitting outside in the jungle with lota. He ran towards him and that the Muslims say, get out, you are haram, get out, haram, haram. But meanwhile, that boar poked his tusk into the chest of the Muslim, and he died instantly, speaking of haram. And Haridas Thakur says, because the word Ram, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was intact, he got liberated. He got liberated from bodily conception of life by accidentally chanting even the Lord's name without even a specific intention to please the Lord. So that is the understanding. While if you say, inject any varna or a letter in the word called Hari, just introduce one ma in between her and ri, it becomes hamari, and the meaning will completely change. Even though there are words her and ri there, but because vyavadhan means obstacle, it's created by varna. So we have to be careful. That will not liberate us. Varna vyavadhan. So chant precisely Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Without even interpreting or thinking that is imagination, or just put another meaning which will be causing the a faithful effect. What Srila Prabhupada gave us the understanding of Hare Krishna Mahamantra without any change. I also told you the story of one of my good god brother. He was a Gujarati and he got initiated before me. And he happened to teach Bhagavad Gita, but he said chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very tongue-twisting for him. So he said, I can chant Krishna's another mantra. By himself he did it and gave up Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is also a great offense. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya is not there, and he did not get any desire. So never try to understand the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra by a different interpretation. Just stick to what Srila Prabhupada has told about Hara, Krishna, and Rama and what it signifies. So we chant that, oh energy of the Lord, that is Hara, please engage me in the devotional service, pure devotional service of Lord Shri Krishna, who is all attractive and all blissful, like that. So it is the preciseness of the mantra and its meaning. We will be able to go further and advance devotional service. So thank you very much. Anybody has any question or comment? Hello. I am back.
There, there's 21 of them there.
Hare Krishna.
Reg. Reg.
Hmm?
Reg.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada.
Maharaj, you mentioned, you explained a lot about Mayavadis, and you were also about to explain more about Brahmavadis. Can you please tell me more about Brahmavadis?
Brahmavadis are impersonalists, but they are not envious of Krishna. You follow? Because Brahman is partly a part of the absolute truth. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yad jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwaniti shabdate. So Bhagwan is worshipped in full totality with pure understanding, pure faith, and performing a devotional service in pure way. That is Bhagwan realization. The Paramatma realization is also partial because we attribute Paramatma is never manifested unless we become completely spec pure, just like Paramatma appeared before the Supreme, before Vasudeva and Devaki. But the Brahmavadis, they say, yes, Brahman is the sum total of both spiritual and material energies. You know, so the spiritual, they do not know that they are manifested opulences in spiritual life. They say, no, it is effulgent, it's brilliant, and it's limited to jnana only. So Brahmavadis are jnanis, all right? And they think Krishna is one of the via medium to impart the jnana to Arjuna. But they are not competitors like Mayavadi. And they put Krishna on the equivalent status of themselves. Look how debauched he is. He married 16,108 wives. And how we are limited. And we are told to follow Lord Ramchandra. Only one wife. So they are Mayavadis. Brahmavadis know that at least they get partial realization of the absolute truth, and they can travel to Brahmajyoti. But then, because they are not complete, most of them fall back into the material world by Lord Shiva's trapping in that his abode called Mahakalpur. Lord Shiva traps them. But it doesn't mean that Brahmajyoti does not include. So mukti means crossing over the material world and enter into spiritual world, crossing against the current of the material world, that is of the virja, and go on the other side. That is so Brahman, Brahmano hi pratisthaham. I am the source of Brahman. Krishna says that. Brahman is not my source. I am the source of Brahman. And Brahman includes even the material energy, which is divine. That's why she is called divine. So sum total of both spiritual and material energy, effulgence, brilliance to be, think or meditated, jnanis do, but without effectual devotional service, because they don't know the personality. They are envious of it. Brahmavadis are not envious of it. They do not know further, but they understand the spiritual effulgence is the Mayavadis, they fall back into the material world. But Brahmavadis can be promoted by the acts of devotion. So they may have to come again to get into the pure devotional service. You got it?
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Also,
Hare-
this those who follow Arya Samajya principles, so
Ah,
seems like they are Brahmadis.
they are Brahmavadis, but they are also Mayavadis. So they may stick to that, but they are full. Most of them, they are Mayavadis. Arya Samajists are Mayavadis.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Haribol.
Gurudev, regarding the story of the
You
Muslim
are
who
sick
chanted
again?
a little bit, just I've got a sore throat.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Regarding the story of the Muslim who chanted haram.
Yes.
So is it because he had some kind of sukriti somewhere that he was able to chant
Definitely.
accidentally the name?
Yes. Because the word word Ram is intact in the word haram. All right. So it benefited him.
Yes. Just like a Jamil, he was blessed by sadhus, and at the beginning of his life,
Yes.
he was a Brahmin, so he was able to chant Narayana at the end of
Yes.
his life.
Right. That is the
Okay.
mercy of the Vaishnavas. So Jamil did not go directly to Vaikuntha.
Yeah.
Then no, he got up and went back to Haridwar to complete his sadhana, and then went back home, back to Godhead in the Vaikuntha.
Yes. So it means if someone accidentally chants the name of the Lord, so
Yes.
he will have to do the same as a Jamil, like he'll
Yes,
have to go and
definitely.
complete his sadhana.
Definitely. Devotional service will take him to either Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan.
Okay. Thank you, Gurudev. Hare
Haribol.
Krishna.
Get well. You are the
Yes,
doctor
Gurudev, by your blessing.
yourself. Doctor, heal thyself.
Haribol, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna. All right. So hopefully we will start tomorrow at the right time. I was late by half an hour, right?
Yes, sir.
But we finished in time. Hare Krishna. Glories to Prabhupada.